Before we begin, guys, what do you think of the new setup? I think it looks pretty fancy. I thought I'd get a few jerseys up there and really freshen up the background a little bit. It was getting very, very plain, getting very boring, and I wasn't really into it after a while. So I thought I'd change it up, change the camera a little bit as well, and you can see a little bit more of me. So I thought I'd freshen it up, and yeah, this is it. So getting into the game, Bournemouth at home to Arsenal in a game where it's going to be fifth against sixth. Down at Vitality Stadium on a Sunday afternoon 1:30 p.m. kickoff between two teams where it's going to be a very tight, very compact game where whoever takes their chance, I think, will really win this game. It's going to be a very, very close one, and Arsenal need to be focused and need to be on it. We need to take our chances going forward. Against Wolverhampton, we were really poor going forward, I personally thought. Looking at the last few games between both teams, Arsenal obviously coming off a 2-2 draw away from home against Palace and a 2-2 draw at home to the likes of Liverpool, and also a draw at home to Wolverhampton 1-0. Bournemouth coming off a few losses. They lost against Manchester United and they lost against Newcastle away. So they're going to be really wanting to kick on in this game and get a win under their belt and really start getting back on the road when it comes to wins. So it's going to be a very, very close game, I personally feel. I expect it to be very cagey, and it's going to be a game where we need to be really focused defensively. I expect us to be really, really on it. But looking at the lineup, I expect it to be a 4-2-3-1 game formation. With the likes of Leno in goal. Left back, Monreal still isn't back, so I expect to see Kolasinac in there, and he needs to kick on. He needs to sort himself out after that last clash against Wolverhampton. He was poor. I need to see more from him. I need to see him going overlapping our attack and really trying to put the ball in the box. For our likes of Lacazette to get onto. Defensively, I want to see the likes of Holding in there and Socrates. We can't have Mustafi in there with Bournemouth sort of pace going forward. They've got some really, really quick players and some very, very confident players going forward. And if they're going to be confident, this is going to be a really, really a long afternoon for Arsenal. Right back, Bellerin, he's going to be very important with that pace of his. And I expect him to bomb forward. He's been brilliant all season, overlapping down those edges with the likes of Iwobi and Mkhitaryan. So I want to see more from him this game. Defensive midfield, I am Torreira. Love him, man. Honestly, I think he's brilliant. I think he really, really is. He's been the signing of the season, I personally think, and he's going to be pivotal in that defensive role, stopping the likes of Joshua King, Callum Wilson, Defoe if he's playing, and the likes of Nathan Brooks. Going in their attacks, so I expect to see him in there with the likes of Granit Xhaka. He needs to be on it as well. Loses too much he loses focus in a lot of games, and these are the sort of games where he will probably step up. I personally feel Unai is going to give him a kick up the backside. Honestly, after that last game against Wolverhampton, that goal he conceded, mate, I tell you, if he's not even playing, it won't surprise me because that was poor from him last game. But that's him in midfield. Ozil in attacking midfield in that centre role. I expect him to really kick on at this game as well. He was poor against Wolverhampton, and I need to see him take the game by the scruff of the neck. He was brilliant against Liverpool, and he was really poor against Palace away from home. So I want to see him really take this game and really start playing his role a lot more, because I just don't see enough of it. I want to see him really trying to find through balls and getting the ball over the top of this defence, because looking at Bournemouth's defence, they do have Nathan Ake, who is very, very quick in there, who is a very, very good centre half. But they do have the likes of Steve Cook, who I personally think is slow as shit with the pace we've got going forward, with Bammy on the left, Iwobi on the right, and Laka going through the middle. Iwobi's going to be very, very pivotal, especially at Bamiyang as well. And we need to get forward. We need to bomb forward, take on this defence. Don't stand there and watch the ball. We need to go for it, start making runs, and really start asking questions with this defence. They don't have Smith, and I think it's in right back he plays. He's not going to be there. I don't think they've got their left back. I think they've got their main left back. I'm not sure, but they're not very quick in defence. I know that. And it's going to be a game where we need to start getting down those edges and crossing it in, because I found that they were pretty weak going down those edges. Going for the middle, I personally find them very strong. The likes of Alexis Sanchez, ex-Arsenal player, he struggled with Manchester United going through that middle of the pitch. I personally thought he was pretty poor, but when they got down those edges, they really did ask questions, and I find that's going to be where the answers are going to be put at with Bournemouth. But looking at Bournemouth, they've got a very, very strong team, a very confident team after a fair few wins at home, and obviously 6th place at the moment, yeah, explains it all. But once they get there, once they're at home, they've got the fans behind them. They can really create a buzz and energy and an atmosphere to this team. And when they get forward, the likes of Callum Wilson, Joshua King, Nathan Brooks, Sermon in that midfield, Cook, Quick in defence. They've got some really good players. And they've got some creative players in there. But I feel like we're going to overpower them in that midfield, and we need to overpower them in that midfield. Because if they counter attack us, they're going to really cause us some issues, especially with obviously Wolverhampton. They caused us so many issues when they bombed forward in a counter-attack position. But I feel like we're going to have a lot of the ball, we're going to have a lot of possession. Ozil needs to use that ball a lot more. And the likes of Torreira and Granit Xhaka should be good in that midfield. I expect them to really overpower it. Torreira, yeah, I've said it all. I always said it. He's pivotal, man, in that midfield. But yeah, that's my my lineups. It's going to be a really difficult game, I think. Bournemouth, obviously, they've really put it against a lot of their teams. They've had a really good few away performances. The likes of Watford, they won against. They lost. They won against Leicester as well. So they're going to be really not afraid to take us on. Obviously, they nearly beat Manchester United a few weeks ago at home. So they're going to be really competitive. They are very competitive anyway at home. And Arsenal, we can't underestimate them. These are the sort of games where we do underestimate a lot of the smaller teams. But 6th position, it explains it all. And I think we will get the win. I'm expecting a 3-1 prediction in this game. I think Aubameyang will score, and I expect the likes of Laka to get a few under his belt. If we can really take them on down those wings and really drive at this Bournemouth team. As I said, we can't start slow, because this is the sort of game we might probably start very slow. But if we start slow and Bournemouth start really creating a few chances, it's going to be a very long afternoon down on the coast. But yeah, 3-1 is my prediction. Let me know, guys, down below your prediction. And also let me know, guys, down below what you think of the new display, the new setup. And yeah, I think it looks pretty cool. Fresh, the new camera angle as well looks pretty fresh as well. And yeah, drop a sub as well and drop a few likes. And yeah, I'm going to have a post-game analysis of the game coming up after the game as well. And yeah, that's the video, that's the show for today. And yeah, I'll see you then. Cheers, guys.